Hello, I am Daniel Flynn from the Multicultural Education class, and this is my screencast on the social justice article by D'Angelo and Sensoy titled, Do I Understand My Privilege? I'm going to start by summarizing the article. Why we may not have enough information and education on topics such as social justice. So why is college the first time I'm taking a class that has anything to do with social justice or multicultural education in general? When is it a good thing to interact with teachers and maybe even question or not question what they're saying in class? So should I be able to question what my history teacher or multicultural education teacher is saying and get a clear, respectful answer back? Why opinions matter and how we should go about stating them. So, although I have an opinion, it might not be correct or correct to other people. Although having opinions are good, maybe not stating all of them are. So, I should, instead of stating opinions, work on using new information to build on old information. Use prior knowledge as the basis of learning new things. So expand on things I've learned in past classes with taking new, different types of classes. How perspective can be so different just based on how we were raised or the way we grew up. So how my childhood in Green Bay, Wisconsin, just based on the way we were raised, could be completely different than that by someone from another city, another state, another country. And the importance of holding on to creativity during school. Why just following directions and taking a test isn't the only thing we need to do as we go through school. One pushback I have on this article is the true importance of grades and the way a classroom environment is structured. So students should be able to ask questions in class. They should, as they do, they should be able to question, however, what the teacher is saying. If they don't agree necessarily with what the teacher's saying, they should be able to raise their opinion in class without being basically fired upon. They should be able to bring up a topic that might be edgy or have something to do with what they're learning and expand on that so that their opinion may change. They might be able to build upon their previous information. Should different subject classes be structured differently? I think so. There's no way to structure a political science class, a history class, biology class like something like a social justice class, which has much more current topics in comparison to just following directions, finishing a test, finishing homework, taking notes. Why standardized tests make sense and matter? Although keeping creativity, sense of self-interest, self-importance is important, the idea of standardized test is to just make sure we don't fall behind, a way for us to check in on our knowledge base, compare ourselves to the people who one day, now, we may be going to college with. And why creativity is important, however, following directions and reaching a goal is still important. In a job, oftentimes, even teaching, you're given information, you need to teach it to a group of children by a certain time. In another job, you're given cars you need to sell by a certain time. That's how you make your money. So to a employer, following directions, reaching a goal could be still considered important. A future challenge I think I have, based on the idea of social justice, is how I can fully understand and accept all types and groups of people, even though I won't be able to put myself in their shoes. So how, as a white male from Wisconsin, can I completely understand the life that a person from any other country, any other state, any other culture lives, or how having not such an easily identifiable gender or sexual orientation can affect the way we live in society today, and how I can fully understand how those people feel without feeling uninformed or like I'm judging those people. And some strategies for me to reach those goals are to have open-mindedness on sexual orientation, race, any other category people choose to place themselves in. As the picture illustrates, there's all kinds of different races, all kinds of sexual orientations, all kinds of gender identifications. Cultures are different even something as simple as music is different. So how, as a white male from Green Bay, Wisconsin, can I work on understanding these and moving on past something as simple as, oh, that person's Asian, that person's black, that person's gay, and just understand that every person is a person. Um, a good quote that I found from this article, and kind of an analogy, is the fish and water analogy, where they describe a fish as being born into water. Do they realize that they're surrounded by water, or is that just the way they live? When we're born into oxygen. It doesn't affect us much past the point where we can remember it. So am I born into water that's privilege? Do I recognize this privilege that I was born into? Do I recognize it and choose to ignore it, or do I do a good job of recognizing it, going against the grain, and working on incorporating my privilege into my everyday life and giving some of it back, not taking advantage of it, trying to treat everyone equally? And that's probably my favorite part of this article, is just that I had to take a step back, realize that as a white male who had nothing to complain about in life past your simple little things, am I that fish in water? Do I realize that I have all this privilege? And although I didn't agree with every single thing in this article, I thought that this was a very good way to look at the life we all live.